Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you follow my Twitter, then you might know that I'm still deep in another Stardew Valley phase. But this time it is different, and I have to tell you all about it. So just enjoy the speed paint of Emily while I get to indulge and yap about my new hyperfixation. But first I need to fit the theme. Much better. It all started when I was sitting on my balcony one day, thinking about how much I love the crops I'm growing, and how I wish that you didn't have to wait as long to enjoy the fruits of your labor. And then it hit me. I already own Stardew Valley, which gives me the option to live out my farmer dreams even if it's just a game. So I have been using that to keep the happy hormones up while I have to wait for my actual tomatoes to grow. Like I said, I already own Stardew Valley, but as it turns out I was playing the whole game wrong. And you might say, well, believe me, there's no wrong way to play this game. The creator even himself said so. And while that is technically true, I still think I did it wrong. Let me explain. The entire 3 years I have been playing, I did not use any guides or watch videos about the game, so I had to figure out everything on my own. That, however, resulted in me living like a complete hermit and pretty much not talking to the villagers at all, except Elliot, but that was because I was trying to romance him. People like to clown on Elliot enjoyers, but he's my choice and I stand by that. But besides talking to him, I was just farming and trying to get minerals to craft, which means that you miss out on so many amazing aspects of the game. But I didn't even know that. I truly thought that I was playing like everyone else and that this is just how the game is. You grind, you sell, and then you customize your farm. But I was missing out on so much, you have no idea. By talking to the villagers, you don't just unlock new stuff, but you also get to know them, and they slowly open up to you. In the beginning, almost everyone is kinda cold and sometimes even mean to you, so I didn't interact much, but by getting to know them, little by little, everyone turns out to be a little more complex than they first seem. Man, I really feel stupid now that I'm saying this out loud, but don't judge me, okay? Using the Stardew Valley wiki also helps tremendously instead of just trying to figure out everything on your own. It saves you so much time and stress, believe me. So here I was, slowly but surely making progress, and I knew it had hit me. The annual Stardew Valley phase. Maybe you know what I mean. If you play Minecraft, you definitely do. That feeling you get when you pick up a game again and you just know it will take over your life for the next few weeks. But I'm okay with that. I've learned not to fight these urges and instead to turn them into content. And if you would like to see more content like this and follow my hyperfixations in real time, you can subscribe or follow me on my socials. But let's get back to the game. Currently I am in year 6 and I just unlocked Ginger Island. To many of you that might come as a shock because most people unlock that part of the game way earlier, but let me live, man. Remember, for the most part of the game I had no idea what I was doing. It was so bad that I didn't even know that Stardew Valley still gets frequent updates, and big ones at that. In my mind, the game was already complete. I think I bought and started the game in 2020, so in my head the game was still the same as it was when I last played it. At that time, it must have been version 1.4, where Ginger Island wasn't even a thing yet. Now we are at 1.6, and now I will definitely follow all the new updates. It's safe to say that this game has taken over my life. Not just because I can't stop playing it, but also because I'm making art and craft related things, like this little Junimo I crocheted to hold my seeds. The back doesn't exactly fit everything, but I just felt like having a little garden companion. And I also have many more silly guys I want to make. At this moment I am very much obsessed with anything small, cute, and nature related. So I want to make little kodamas out of air-dried clay, so they can watch over my plants. I'll probably show you once I get around to it. But let's actually talk about the drawing. I chose Emily to draw because one of my mutuals suggested it, and I can't say no to him, can I? But before I was able to start, I had to figure out what kind of person she is to decide on a theme. So I talked to her and gifted her a bunch of stuff for the first time, checking out the wiki to make sure she actually will like what I gift her. As you might know, she works at the Stardew Saloon together with Gus sometimes, and that ended up being the theme I went with. I wanted to draw her in her signature red dress, as a waitress. Honestly, at first I was planning to just slap a blur filter on the background, but no, I can't keep doing that. I know it saves a lot of time and headaches, but it also gets very boring very easily. Due to this, I just had to try it to the best of my abilities. Like I said, I already knew that I needed her to be in the Stardew Saloon, but the layout of the place is a bit too complicated for my current skill level, so I took some creative liberties with it. I still kept the wooden interior, but simply added other stuff like plants and the picture to make sure that everything is a bit more interesting. And big shocker, I am not very satisfied with my ability or lack thereof. When it comes to backgrounds, I can only get better if I keep trying. That means that you will have to bear with my bad attempts for a little while longer. Sorry about that. By the way, the painting you can see in the background is the one that also hangs in Emily's room at her house. Overall, while I was trying to trigger all the heart events, I got to know her more and more, and she truly became one of my besties, together with Leah. Before I started to even talk to everyone, my only friend was Linus. And I mean, you can't hate on the guy. He just chills in his tent and forages. What a legend. While playing the game, I couldn't stop thinking about how there can even be a homeless person in a town that is so small and where everyone is connected and seems to help each other out. Why don't the townspeople help him get a home? He's so nice and even saves you on multiple occasions if you pass out in the mines. But then I reached his 8 heart event and realized that he doesn't want to be saved. He's content with living amongst nature and doesn't want to be tied down by a permanent home. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, when you reach the 8 heart event with Linus, you have the option to invite him to live on your farm with you. In my defense, I just thought it would be cool to have someone else living on your farm as well. In response, however, he gets highly offended that you would even suggest such a thing, and says that he likes being alone most of the time. And I mean, who am I to rob him of the life he wants? That truly made me step back and think for a second. On one hand, I didn't want to impose a lifestyle on him that he doesn't want, and that ultimately wouldn't make him happy. But on the other hand, I did feel bad for him when I saw him looking through the trash cans of the town for food. I don't want him to starve, and his tent also doesn't seem too warm during the snowy season. In the end, I put one of those heaters you can buy for the animals in his tent, so he can stay nice and toasty during the colder times. I'm probably thinking too much about an NPC from a game that ultimately isn't even real. Oh well. And for now, that's actually all I wanted to say. I just needed to vent about the game and decided to make it everyone else's problem. Do with that information what you will. At this time, I'm working on another Stardew Valley piece, but this time it will be a little more nature-oriented. Stay tuned for that, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care!